is Sheyogun today.
My name is Chris.
My name is Valentine Naman.
And then when we got there, when I got on stage, I was pretty nervous. I don't know if you were there, but I was sweating a lot.
I was really vibrating, like my hands were shaking.
But the moment I picked up the mic and started talking, everything just went. I just flowed, and
It was like a regular demo that we do at work.
My name is Valentine Namane from One Grade Energies. I recycle waste into clean energy. So basically what we do is that we're trying to revolutionize the energy gap, because currently so many people can't be able to afford solar home systems. But then ask ourselves, how can we be able to revolutionize the business model so it can be able to cater for the undeserved communities? In Nigeria, we have more than 90 million people that don't have access to electricity. And we thought to ourselves, how can we be able to create a solution that is at least affordable for them, so children can read at night, businesses, they can be able to increase their revenue. And this was actually a personal problem. While growing up, I didn't have access to electricity. I couldn't even read my books. I used candles to read at night, and most of the eye problems I had as of that time was due to candles. And there was a time in 2012, I almost burnt my house. While reading, I slept off and the candle fell on my book. That's how everywhere caught fire. And this is just the same story with millions of Nigeria out there that don't have access to renewable energy. And that's where I came in, asked myself, how can I create a solution?
My name is Sheyogun today, co-founder CEO for Sub Technologies. We convert keke that uses fuel to battery, so we are called battery keke. Sub is an EV as a service business. We understood from many years of our renewable energy journey, over a decade of renewable energy, that selling solar panels and battery was not the most effective way to solve the problems of power in the country, especially in our climate. And while we're iterating through that, we understood that e-mobility, electric vehicles were a thing. And then adapting that into our kind of economy was something that we needed to think from a local infrastructure point of view. And so that got us to start thinking about how to use what we have existing to solve the problem that we're trying to solve. And so we got to the solution of converting already existing vehicles. We're focusing on first and last mile vehicles, like your Keke and your Korokwe, from petrol to EV, reducing the cost of entry, and then providing swap stations for them to be able to swap their batteries, allowing them to adapt the technology as easy as possible.
I'm founder of Zenari Technologies, a parent company of Zenari Pay. Currently, Zenari Pay is a cryptocurrency payment gateway and a set of tools that allows businesses to accept cryptocurrency payments on their mobile and web apps, and even with non-technical team members.
I'm Ajao Obatunde Khalid, finance officer, Play to Learn. Play to Learn is actually a project that was created in order to enhance bridging the gap between the Web 2 and Web 3, like educating the Web 2 folks about the Web 3 system. So more like onboarding the Web 2 folks onto the Web 3 system. I think that was through a recommendation from a friend.
So I think I had seen the TC Battlefield, crypto innovation pitch, and a bunch of other stuff, right? And at first we didn't apply because we had to do a lot of product development. Again, we just came out September, right? So, but then we decided to apply like close to the deadline and just see, right? And then we got invited to pitch, and I mean we're already coming to Moonshot, right? We already had plans to come to Moonshot, and then when we got invited to pitch, it was like, okay.
So yeah, obviously, that was going to be my first Moonshot, even though Moonshot has been happening, because we're very hardware guys, so we don't typically get towards things like this. And so, somebody I was talking to, Baba Toko, was like, you should apply for this. This looks like something that might be really interesting for you. I'm like, okay, for the sake of application, let's just apply. We don't know where it's going to lead. And then Victoria sent a mail and said, you guys were selected. I was like, selected for what? I would forgot that I applied for something like that. I didn't even put my mind there. And then I got an email. I'm like, which one is Battlefield again? And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, great. And yeah, it was really interesting. I was excited about it after I finally went to this research. Like, okay, this is a really big event. It's a really big platform. Maybe it will be worth our while.
So during the program, the bootcamp It's really amazing. I was in Canada as of that time during the boot camp. So I had to be switching because I was at One Young God Summit. So I had to be switching between Summit and also the boot camp. It's really amazing, especially the storytelling part by Tommy Davis. It's a really amazing section. That section was really the best because the way he taught it, I've been opportune to, I've been through so many accelerator programs and I know how it looks like. But his own section was so practical that I had to leave the conference, just went to an hotel, followed the bootcamp all through. Right? It was really amazing. Each slide came with its own story. It's not a normal, it's not a usual way of doing it. It's just so different.
So yeah, there were a lot of things that we're not thinking about at that moment. I think one of the mentees, I think she works for HOQ or something like that, and she gave some really good insights into what we're doing. Not specifically for my startup, but there are things that she pointed out, especially when it comes to product market fit. And so those guidelines, those key markers that she showed us, helped redefine some of the things that we had to do. Also, training us for the page, we're able to streamline our deck. I'm extremely introverted, and so startup life has made me now a lot of extroverted, I'll say. So one of the things that it really helped me do was to frame my mind as to how to pitch to an investor and how to pitch very quickly. What are the most important things you need to say to get to the investor's ear so that they can write that check for you?
So we scheduled a time, we had everyone on the call, and everything was just like urgent. It needed to be fast. They were preparing the pitch deck and everything. So when we called that night, I just did like a skim through and I asked a few questions because the pitch deck was already understandable enough for me.
And so I spent all night kind of preparing for the pitch. And then when I got on stage, I was pretty nervous. I don't know if you were there, but I was sweating a lot. I was kind of dripping everywhere.
I was really vibrating, like my hand was shaking.
But the moment I picked up the mic and started talking, everything just went. I just flowed, and
It was like a regular demo that we do at work.
It's something that I'm doing. This is my startup. I don't have to cram because first of all, I just memorized everything. But at the end of the day, everything went out. So I say this is my startup. I've been into this for a long time now, and I've been into these communities. I know how these guys feel when we give them our product, and I've also listened to their interviews, right? So it's so real that I don't need to fake it. Just go there and do what you know how to do. I went there, did the whole thing, and it was successful.
I mean, you don't hear your name third and you don't hear your name second. And so the only option you have to hear your name first, right? And so we just sat there waiting, sweating again. And then when I heard my name, I sat down for like 5 seconds before I stood up and then just,
so I was on my phone and one day we mentioned, when something is going on but you're trying to play avoidance. I was on my phone. I was like, just in case they don't copy to me, I'll just keep pressing my phone. And the next thing I heard was, play to win. And then she was like, they are calling you. You have to go out.
I was not even there. I couldn't stay there, so I went to the back where these things were. So because I could not take the pressure of you did not qualify. So when they had gotten to like first runner up, I think second runner up, right? And then they called the name and they were saying second runner up. So I heard swap. I'm like, are they sure? Is it somebody saying swap something or is us? And like this was us. So I came outside and they were like, oh my god. My first win ever since I started doing startup. I have never been in competition. This was the first time I was ever going to, get that kind of audience or win that kind of prize as a startup. And it was really interesting. It felt like I won Grammy.
To win this has already that's
In fact, it seemed like as if the investor was just finally realized that there's a company here called Swap, and then everybody was making their phone calls.